Hey guys, this video is to help you understand how to plan improvements in the nutritional health of children and young people. Every individual will have slightly different requirements. However, the general recommendations for improving the nutritional health of children and young people include cooking from scratch. Home-cooked meals allow you to control what you consume because you can select and measure out the ingredients. You can also select fresh, organic and seasonal ingredients. Involve children in the planning. Involve them in the preparation and cooking of the meal, as this can boost their self-esteem and lead them to trying more new foods. Variety of foods. A varied diet that is served in a creative way can keep children engaged. Food swaps. Swapping unhealthy foods for healthy foods is a great way to improve the diet of children and young people. Monitor sugar intake. Foods high in sugar can lead to bad health, and no more than 5% of energy consumed should come from sugars that are added to food and drink. When making your own nutritional plans for children and young people, you must consider implementing the general recommendations where possible. The nutritional plans should also seek to reach the recommended daily calorie targets specific to each age group and gender, as discussed earlier in this unit, with daily calorie targets adjusted based on if the child in question is particularly big or small for their age, or if they have exceptionally high levels of activity due to sporting commitments. The aim with children and young people is to plan ahead to ensure they have access to nutritious meals and snacks throughout the day. Planning ahead can ensure a range of different textures and foods that are chewy, crunchy, crispy, smooth and soft. The age of the child will influence many of the plans. For example, with children under 5 years old, they're recommended to drink approximately 1/3 of a pint of whole cow's milk every day. Children should also have full-fat versions of other dairy products, namely cheese and yogurt. It is also worth noting that preschool children have small stomachs and can only tolerate small and frequent meals. Fibre should also be limited in children due to how it can reduce the absorption of important minerals, including calcium and iron. Children should be served meat or fish every day where feasible, unless certain religious or cultural reasons prohibit, with oily fish served at least once a week for omega-3 fatty acids. Foods that should be avoided when planning for children and young people include raw shellfish, raw eggs and foods containing partially cooked eggs, with the exception of eggs that have the lion stamp, as these are safe to be consumed runny or partially cooked. Whole nuts or large chopped nuts due to the risk of choking, as well as whole cherry tomatoes, cherries and grapes, and some sweets and popcorn. Foods high in salt. Foods and drinks high in added sugar. Honey should also be avoided until 12 months old due to the risk of food poisoning. Liver. Liver products such as pate should not be given to children more than once a month. The example menu in the course content for children under 5 years old ensures that a meal or snack is offered at least every 3 hours. The foods listed in the menu vary in taste and texture. Children who are not accustomed to these foods will require additional time to familiarise themselves with the food. The menu also contains a mix of finger foods in addition to foods that require cutlery. The example day's menu for children under 5 years old also contains suitable quantities of starchy foods which provide carbohydrate in addition to dietary fibre, vitamins and minerals. Starchy foods should comprise part of every meal with minimal amounts of fibre. The example diet includes whole cow's milk as a separate drink and with breakfast cereal, thus providing fat, protein, vitamins and minerals, and importantly calcium for growth and development. Here are some examples of the meals in the under 5's child example menu. Cornflakes with milk, brown toast with butter and honey or jam, milk and crumpet with butter, baked sweet potato, rice and peas, spinach and pineapple, scrambled egg with brown toast, butter and celery, fruit salad. The course content also includes a larger selection of meal and snack options for under 5s, with separate categories for breakfast, mid-morning snack, lunch, afternoon snack and dinner. This video has highlighted some of the key aspects to planning improvements in the nutritional health of children and young people, with greater depth of information found in the course content.